Middle school to show you a new lab.
Sounds like kind of a class from the future. Eyewitness News reporter Laura Whitley is there checking it out for us today. Laura, what'd you find?
Oh, Alona, Eric, this is the kind of story that certainly makes you want to go back to high school, because I don't ever remember doing anything quite this cool. These kids are not learning rocket science, but it might be just as important, robotics. It might look like fun and games, but for Temi Owemi, operating these robots is just part of the ninth graders' schoolwork.
First, we must build the robots and get the parts. A rangefinder.
Yeah.
Okay.
The KIPP Academy students actually write the computer code that allows the robots to operate.
We program it to move by itself.
Students are putting everything from their math to artistic skills to work.
You have to use math. You have to use science. The processes. All that you have to write. You have to think critically. When you put all that together, it's like a real world job.
The KIPPsters, as they call themselves, are doing all of it in possibly one of the most well-equipped school robotics labs in the country.
This high school, middle school playground is just a romper room for problem solving, creativity, and imagination.
El Paso Energy provided much of the support that made the new lab program possible. The company's CEO considers it an investment in the future.
The private sector has to get involved, roll up their sleeves, get their hands dirty, and help address this issue of the fact that we have way too many kids that aren't going to college.
Even though robotics attracts mostly boys, that's not stopping Joanna Rodriguez. The confident 16-year-old is learning early about breaking gender barriers.
I have the same minds, I have the same creativity. Just because you look different doesn't set you apart from anybody else.
What is setting the KIPP students apart? Their exposure to the robotics program. They gain knowledge today and become the problem solvers of tomorrow. And that's one of the robots in action right now. It's for a game that's called Bot Ball, something that's done at some of the robotics competitions that they'll do throughout the year. It actually sits on a iRobot vacuum cleaner, and is the CPU on it is actually run, at least a panel you can see, is a Game Boy. So it's pretty neat how all of this works together way beyond my level, and I'm glad I'm not competing against these kids, because, I'd be left in the dust.
And Laura, when you got CEOs there taking notice in the room, this could probably, since they're starting at such a young age, turn into a very lucrative career.
Oh, certainly. And, it's so amazing to talk to these kids, to talk about the different plans that they're making based on their experiences here, everything from bioengineering to artificial intelligence, all kinds of things that they have now set in their sights.
Incredible. Very impressive stuff that, as you said, Laura, we don't necessarily understand, but we like it.
That's right.
Thank you very much. Great story there. Okay, speaking of impressive.